I spent 2 days on the ground at Legal Tech Talk speaking to the people shaping the future of law. And what I heard, surprising, honest, game-changing. Over the next few weeks, I'll be sharing the big insights, bold ideas, and behind-the-scenes realities that every legal professional needs to hear. In this episode, I'm talking with Mahwash Ali, procurement expert for law firms. She helps law firms stop overpaying suppliers and start saving on supplier spend. So Mahwash, what would you say is the biggest mistake that law firms make, in your opinion?
From a reviewing the supplier expenditure perspective, I think one of the things that most law firms don't do, or simply don't have the time to do, is review their contract against their invoices on a monthly basis. Because, if you had a contract, if you ask a stakeholder, one of my favorite things when we go into a law firm is when we ask them, contract for this services. And they're like, oh, you know what? It was given to me in my handout notes. It's here. It's in a drawer somewhere. No one knows what the contract is.
That is so ironic.
Considering they're lawyers. And the even bigger irony is often we actually have to go out of house to get lawyers for supplier contracts because the in-house lawyers are just too busy. I remember the first time it happened, I was floored. And I was like, you guys do know where you are, right? Because we had this huge multi-million-dollar contract. And there was nobody available to review the contract with us. And it was a huge law firm. And so I just remember it came out of my mouth before, and my manager looked at me like, and so it was just like, you guys have looked around, right? You know where we are. And we are in one of the biggest law firms in the world. And you're telling me that. But that is that is one of the biggest things that I find is we found a huge gap in the market where we found that once you sign a contract, maybe somebody will review it for the first 3 months, maybe for the first 6 months if they're really efficient. But after that, no one's really tracking what you're doing, whether the supplier is actually charging you what you've agreed in the contract. Mm-hmm. And at a line item level detail, somebody may have a look at it at a, overall level, bird's eye view, that's about right, and then pass it on. So that's where we found that actually what was happening was over a period of time, there was about 10 to 50% gap that was increasing.
Wow.
And we've managed to find, just one of our law firms was $500,000 in savings.
Oh my gosh.
We're reviewing the contract.
Wow.
Looking at it, going back retrospectively, and you can go back 6 years and actually collect any overcharges that you've had over the period of 6 years. And we only did that for the last 2 years.
Wow.
For that one particular law firm. So it's really, really important to keep on top of keep track of what you actually agreed in your contracts and what you're actually paying in your invoices on a monthly basis. I think that's one of the big ones I see in suppliers.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you're curious about how to actually use AI in your day-to-day work as a lawyer, not just to keep up with the tech, but to make your practice more efficient, cut down admin time, and open up new opportunities, then you're going to want to join me at the AI Skills Summit for Lawyers. We're bringing in experts to run live sessions that will give you practical steps on how to use AI in your work. And for the first time ever, I'm revealing how I leverage AI to turn legal expertise into influence and authority on LinkedIn in a special session. But here's the important part. If you're already on the wait list, this does not secure your spot. You'll have to pre-register, and only those who do will get free access. So if you want to save hours in your week, work smarter, and stay ahead of the curve, take 60 seconds and pre-register right now. The link is in the show notes of this episode.